Well, hi, I'm Sharyn Cosby. I am first pastor of In the Spirit Christian Church, a church that was formed in 2007, church in formation, and within a year we were chartered, and officially I became the founding pastor of In the Spirit Christian Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The first sermon that I preached came out of the scripture Isaiah 61, "For the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to preach the gospel." For 5 years in the ministry, I realized that preaching was not enough. There needed to be more. And so from that, we, as a church, formed an organization called Oklahoma Family Empowerment Center, a separate but related organization of the church. This is a social justice ministry, because the rest of that scripture talks about setting the captives free, healing the brokenhearted, opening the prison doors for those who have been bound. Because sometimes preaching is not enough. And if we were going to follow the model of Jesus, he gave the good news, and yes, it's good news, but he did something. And often the doing something came before the preaching of the good news. So for Oklahoma Family Empowerment Center, this is our doing something, if you will. And it originally started when the Oklahoma Office of Juvenile Affairs approached me because of my prior prison and gang ministry that I had done. Somebody had told somebody, and so they called me. They had a mandate, if you will, to do the work of reducing minority contact with law enforcement, especially within the juvenile system, juvenile justice system. And so they asked me if that's something that I could do and spearhead. And of course, that being dear to my heart, juvenile justice, we did do exactly that. We took that grant over and began to work, and we immediately gathered what we call system stakeholders. That's the police department, the sheriff's department, the public defenders, the prosecutors, U.S. attorneys, and brought everybody to the table because everybody had a role to play in this issue called DMC, or disproportionate minority contact with law enforcement, and they had a role. So we had to first look at, what is it? What is DMC? What are the various stakeholders' role in contributing to DMC? And then develop a plan of action, in which we did. I'm proud to say that within 5 years, we have seen a great reduction rate because the system stakeholders bought into the process. We're not there yet because it's still not equitable, but we have seen a significant change. Police officers and those who are being CLEAT certified, Sheriff's Department, they're all being trained in EPIY, which is Effective Police Interaction with Youth. Our Juvenile Justice Bureau intake people are reviewing their intake process. Our hope is to reduce secure detention and petitions filed, which we have, and increase diversion to community programs. So we're looking at community programs and what's available. That's where we started with OFAC, but we didn't stop there. Each day that I came into the office, I would find homeless people at the door, asleep. And I said, okay, God, if they're at my door, you must want me to do something about this. So we started putting together care packages, hygiene care packages for the homeless, which provided hair comb and brush, and toothpaste and toothbrush and body wash, and shaving cream, and feminine hygiene for products for the women. But they're also hungry, so then we started feeding them 2 meals a day, 4 days a week. Gathering clothing, especially now in the wintertime, gathering coats. One thing I learned though is shoes are very important for the homeless. Oftentimes we find individuals who have had their shoes taken by gunpoint. And so we collect shoes to make sure that they have shoes. And I remember one gentleman, we just gave him a pair of used shoes, but you would think that we just gave him $1 million because he had the biggest smile on his face and almost danced in the building, We know that seniors do better when they are active and they have socialization and they get good meals. So we have a seniors program where seniors come in 1 day a week and we do exactly that. We feed them, we do exercise programs with them and socialization with them. There's a lot of homeless people, but we also have a lot of hungry people. So we have a food pantry that provides food for families when they are in the middle of paychecks, if you will, or in the middle of receiving their monthly subsidy for food. In addition to that, the prison and jail ministry, because when I was working really a lot in prison and jail ministry, I was going in the prisons and preaching and doing services, but these people are going to come out. The majority of them are going to return back to our communities. So I was initially instrumental in Oklahoma with their reentry program. So we're doing some reentry and trying to help our returning citizens when they come back, and also help the community be able to receive them when they return. So we have the prison and jail ministry and the reentry programming. We're doing a lot at OFAC, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve God's people, those who are vulnerable. People need help. And a lot of times they find themselves in trouble not because of their own doing. Sometimes it is, but not always. So people need someone who will be a voice for them when they can't speak for themselves. People need someone who will advocate on their behalf when they don't know how to navigate the system. Sometimes people just need a helping hand to get to the next level. And so at Oklahoma Family Empowerment Center, we have this motto, if you will, empowering families and changing lives. And that's what we hope to do. So if I had a call to action for people, I would say get involved. You may not do exactly what I do, but you can do something. You can be a voice and advocate for policy changes that adversely affect people with mental health issues, people who are coming out of our prisons and jails, people who are in need of health care, people who are in need of food. We can advocate and have policy change. Monetary support. Sometimes people, I say, I don't advocate, I'm not going to get involved in the work, I'm not going to show up, but you can write a check. And so you can support financially. There are many ways that people can support, but most of all, I believe in that old saying that I know that many people have heard. People don't care how much you know. They just want to know that you care. And I believe that early on in Jesus' ministry, it wasn't so much about what he said. It was about what he did. And the people followed him because they knew he cared.